So before the video plays here in just a second, I want to just go over some stuff. But we didn't have heat in January of 2025 because, as you can see, our breaker panel caught on fire, and the heat was running and stuff. And this was right before it snowed in December, and I was out of work for a couple of days because of the fact that I had to take a day off of work to try and get enough firewood in the house so that we didn't freeze to death because it was 20 degrees outside. So you'll see some photos of me gathering firewood. Now, granted, you're not supposed to burn pine, and a lot of the wood that we have on our property is pine, but I kept hearing this buzzing and clicking noise, and I was like super cold in my office, and my office usually stays pretty hot. And well, I am super glad that I caught stuff when I did, because of the fact that our breaker panel had caught on fire, and I flipped it off when I did, because then we ended up with snow and shit right after, and we ended up having to pay several $100s to have our entire breaker panel fixed and replaced, and GFCI and arc fault things done, because this breaker panel was original to the house and it should have been replaced. And we don't know how long it had been burnt out like this, but there was obvious melting signs on the breaker panel that they said it should have been caught with our inspection to buy the house, that it wasn't. And so, yeah, this is a precursor to the video that you're about to watch. And this was scary. This is what we went through in January 2025. So we have a brand new breaker panel and electrical work done to our house.
You forget, I have all of this land. All of this land to scavenge for wood. We may not have heat in the house. Well, I mean, we've got the fireplace going. But I have been scavenging for wood because we have all these fucking trees. We have an acre and a half here. So I am scavenging wood and then bringing huge ass logs up. And then Jason's cutting them into smaller pieces. I don't know what's wrong with the chainsaw. He was supposed to put the new blade on it, but he didn't. So I'm out here. We have a pine tree right here that's dying. So I am picking up all the pieces of it that's fallen off. So there's a ton of like fallen pine logs. I mean, you're not supposed to burn pine, but it's what we got. So free fucking firewood. And somebody that he contacted hours ago finally messaged him back and said they can deliver firewood. So we'll have wood to keep warm, but the breaker panel is fucking toast. The HVAC guy said, had I left it running and left the heater turned back on, like when I flipped it on and heard it making noise, had I left it running, he said it would have caught the house on fire. So I'm glad that I flipped it back off.
So for those of you that saw any of my social media posts in January 2025, that's what this video is from. I am slowly editing some of the videos that I've been backlogged and haven't had a chance to edit because my work schedule has been crazy, and I've been trying to get caught up with stuff, and we've just had a lot going on. And, even though I might have somebody else that lives in the household with me, doesn't necessarily mean that they help out. And so just because I live with somebody else doesn't mean that they help in any way, shape, or form. And trying to drag wood when you have health problems is detrimental to your health. And needless to say, I was in a ton of pain for about 2 weeks after dragging logs and wood through my yard so that we had firewood to burn, because in the next video that I'm going to edit, you'll get to see why, because we got snow in Georgia, and it didn't snow once, not twice, but 3 times. So we ended up very grateful that we have a new HVAC system on this house, so that when we go to sell the house, we've got a new roof, new HVAC, new electrical. So hopefully it'll help the house sell better. But I really do know that I'm going to miss this property because it's a beautiful property. But we have all these new things that we had to install into this house to make it livable, because the last buyers that we bought it, the people that we bought the house from lied to us, and the inspector did a really shitty job. So I'm glad that we made the changes to make it livable for us, but we found it was hard for us because of the fact that we blundered into a lot of their mistakes. So there was a lot of bad wiring in this house, and we've had to have several things rewired and the entire electrical panel redone and new things done. And the entire breaker panel is 100% brand new and new wiring and stuff done. So anyways, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and the next one's about snow in Georgia.